There was only the eternal I am. There was only God imagining creation into existence by the sheer power of being. And from this infinite source, you were born, not as a spectator in a world already completed, but as a participant in the same creative process through which galaxies, oceans, mountains, and miracles were called forth. Everything that will ever come into your experience, every breakthrough, every transformation, every healing, every opportunity, begins not in the world around you, but in the realm within you. And in this sacred inner realm, one principle governs all creation. Prayer is the art of believing, not the art of wishing, not the art of begging, not the art of pleading with a distant God. Prayer is the deliberate assumption of a state. Prayer is the conscious acceptance of the end as already fulfilled. Prayer is the inner alignment with the finished work of the Father. Prayer is the movement of your imagination into the reality God has already prepared. When Jesus said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours," he was not speaking metaphorically. He was revealing the law of consciousness with absolute precision. Believe you have received it, not that you will receive it. Not that you might receive it, but that you have received it. This is prayer. This is creation. This is the art of believing. And belief, when properly understood, is not mental effort, it is identity. It is the inner stance of one who already possesses what the outer world has not yet revealed. You pray by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You pray by thinking from the end, not toward it. You pray by becoming, in consciousness, the version of yourself for whom the prayer is already answered. Prayer is not something you do. Prayer is who you are in the moment you believe. To understand prayer on this deeper level, your mind must rise beyond the old idea that prayer is a petition. Prayer is not an attempt to convince God of what you need. You do not stand before heaven as a beggar hoping for mercy. You stand as a child of God, endowed with the creative power of the Father, invited into partnership with the divine imagination. When you pray, you are not informing God of anything. He already knows. You are aligning yourself with what He has already spoken. The real question is not whether God will answer your prayer, but whether you will accept the answer internally before it appears externally. For the subconscious mind, the gateway of manifestation does not respond to words. It responds to impressions, to states, to feelings, to the deep inner certainty that what you imagine is already real. This is the mystery at the heart of spiritual law and neurological science. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a vividly accepted assumption and physical reality. What you feel deeply enough, you become. What you assume consistently enough, your environment reflects. What you accept without contradiction, you experience. This is why Jesus prayed as though every miracle was already done. He said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." Before Lazarus walked out of the tomb, he prayed from the fulfillment, not for the fulfillment. He prayed as the answer, not toward the answer. He prayed by assuming the state in which the result had already been accomplished. This is the art of believing. This is true prayer in action. And you were created to pray in this same way. When you understand prayer as belief, you stop trying to manipulate appearances. You stop asking God to change the external world while your internal state remains the same. You stop waiting for signs before you allow yourself to feel certainty. You stop hoping the world will shift first. Prayer is not asking the world to move. Prayer is moving your inner world until the outer must conform. When you pray correctly, you become the cause, not the effect. You become the source, not the seeker. You become the authority, not the victim of circumstance. For the world is not creating your inner state. Your inner state is creating the world. Every answered prayer begins with this realization. Every transformation begins with this awakening. Every miracle begins with this inner shift. You have been given the keys to the kingdom, and those keys are internal. They are your imagination, your feeling, your assumption, your inner conviction. These are the levers that move reality. But prayer requires something else, something subtle, yet absolutely essential. Prayer requires stillness. Not the stillness of physical silence, but the stillness of inner certainty. The stillness of a mind no longer divided. The stillness of a heart no longer wavering. The stillness of a soul anchored in the truth of who God says you are. This stillness is the space where belief takes root. It is the fertile soil in which the seed of assumption can grow. It is the calm in which imagination becomes creation. This is why Scripture says, "Be still and know that I am God." In stillness you remember, God is within you as your very life. God is within you as your imagination. God is within you as your creative power. God is within you as the fulfillment of every promise. When you pray from stillness, your request is not a cry of desperation. It is an expression of divine partnership. Prayer becomes effortless, natural, inevitable. Just as a tree does not strain to reach the sun, your spirit does not strain to reach fulfillment when stillness is present. Stillness is the doorway into answered prayer. But prayer, the art of believing, also includes a mystery few understand. True prayer begins after the prayer is spoken. The moment you pray, the moment you assume the end. Your only task is to remain faithful to the inner state. Do not check the outer world. Do not measure progress. Do not ask, when will it come? Asking about time reveals doubt. Checking for signs reveals uncertainty. Seeking confirmation weakens your assumption. You are not waiting for the answer. The answer is waiting for you to remain alive. Your job is to hold the feeling. Your job is to maintain the state. Your job is to occupy the identity of the one who already has. The rest is God's work. This is what Neville called the bridge of incidents, the divine orchestration of events that unfolds the manifestation in ways you could not predict and need not control. When you pray correctly, you do not manipulate the bridge. You walk it. You do not dictate the path. You trust it. Prayer is the acceptance of the end. Faith is the persistence in that end. Manifestation is the unveiling of that end. This is the holy sequence at the center of all creation. Prayer also requires the mastery of a spiritual skill most overlook: inner speech. Your inner dialogue is the engine of your belief. It is the silent soundtrack shaping your emotional state. It is the unseen script your life eventually performs. If your inner speech contradicts your prayer, your subconscious will follow the contradiction. If your inner speech rehearses fear, fear becomes your harvest. If your inner speech replays doubt, doubt becomes your experience. But when your inner speech aligns with the fulfilled end, your prayer becomes unstoppable. Speak inwardly as one who already possesses the blessing. Speak inwardly as one who already lives in the answered prayer. Speak inwardly as the healed, the prosperous, the whole, the guided, the favored child of God. Let your inner speech be the bridge between your prayer and your manifestation. For Jesus said, "By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned." This was not about external speech alone. It was about the ceaseless inner dialogue that shapes belief. Prayer is strengthened or weakened by the voice you hear inside. Now let us move deeper still into the heart of the mystery, where Christ, Scripture, imagination, and science meet. Prayer works because consciousness is the cause of all reality. Science tells us the observer affects the observed. Scripture tells us faith shapes experience. Mysticism tells us imagination creates form. Neville tells us assumption hardens into fact. These are not separate truths. They are one truth expressed through different languages. Reality does not respond to your words. It responds to your state. Prayer is the intentional selection of your state. When you pray, you choose the state in which your desire is already fulfilled. When you persist, you stabilize that state. When you feel the wish fulfilled, you impress that state upon the subconscious. And the subconscious, obedient, neutral, infinitely intelligent, reorganizes your life to match your assumption. Prayer is not magic. Prayer is law. Prayer is science. Prayer is divine order in motion. You are not hoping God will intervene. You are aligning with the God who is already within. You are not bending heaven to your will. You are harmonizing with heaven's will through your assumption. This is the art of believing. This is the law Christ lived from. And now, as we enter the closing movement of this spiritual symphony, allow your heart to expand with this final revelation. For everything depends on this. Prayer is answered the moment you believe, even before the world reflects it. Do not confuse the delay of appearance with the denial of prayer. When a seed is planted, the harvest is guaranteed, not immediately visible, but immediately real. Your assumption is the seed. Your feeling is the water. Your persistence is the sunlight. Your identity is the soil. And reality itself is the garden in which your belief becomes form. So walk now as the one who was asked correctly. Walk now as the one whose prayer is complete. Walk now as the one who has received in consciousness what God is unfolding in form. Let no circumstance intimidate you. Let no contradiction disturb you. Let no delay deceive you. Prayer works from the inside out. By the time the world sees the answer, you will have been living in it for weeks, in the sanctuary of imagination. This is the way of Christ. This is the way of creation. This is your inheritance. And now, breathe deeply, slowly, as the sacred truth settles into your entire being. Prayer is the art of believing, and belief is the acceptance of the unseen as the only reality worth honoring. You are no longer praying to become, you are praying from being. You are no longer hoping to receive. You are receiving now in imagination. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are becoming the sign. Everything you have asked for is already yours in God's dimension. Your only task is to hold the stake until the world catches up. So walk forward now, quiet, unwavering, deeply aligned, as one who knows, when I believe, I have already prayed, and when I have prayed, I have already received. Amen. But even as the final echo of amen dissolves into silence, something within you begins to awaken more fully. A deeper recognition, a deeper authority, a deeper remembrance of who you truly are. For the art of believing does not end when the prayer concludes, it begins there. The real work unfolds in the quiet moments after the prayer, in the still hours when no one is listening, in the intimate space where your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions begin to shape the blueprint of your manifested world. For belief is not a single moment of clarity. Belief is a state of consciousness you must return to again and again until it becomes the natural atmosphere of your soul. You begin to see that prayer is not something you visit. It is something you inhabit. Prayer is not an action you perform. It is a state you maintain. Prayer is not an isolated event. It is the continuous alignment of your inner world with the truth God has spoken over you. And so, as you walk forward from your prayer, you become more aware of the subtle currents within your mind, the inner conversations, the emotional tones, the images you accept, the assumptions you allow. For these too are prayers. Every assumption is a form of asking. Every feeling is a form of planting. Every inner word is a form of creation. The question is no longer, did I pray correctly? The question becomes, am I living from the prayer I prayed? Are you thinking like the one who has received? Are you feeling like the one who has received? Are you responding like the one who has received? For belief is not mental repetition. Belief is inner embodiment. The healed think differently than the sick. The prosperous think differently than the impoverished. The confident think differently than the fearful. The chosen think differently than the forgotten. So ask yourself, do my thoughts now match my assumption? Does my inner speech agree with my prayer? Does my emotional tone reflect the end I have accepted as real? Because consciousness always moves toward its dominant feeling, not its passing desire. Desire initiates the prayer. Belief sustains the prayer. Identity completes the prayer. This is the art of believing. And as this truth sinks deeper into your awareness, a profound shift begins inside you. A shift from effort to ease, from striving to resting, from hoping to knowing. For once belief solidifies, prayer becomes effortless. You are no longer trying to force the world to change. You are letting the world mirror what you already are. You no longer look for signs. You become the sign. You no longer beg for transformation. You embody it. This is the difference between a prayer spoken from desire and a prayer lived from fulfillment. The former is fragile. The latter is unbreakable. The former is easily shaken by appearances. The latter remains steady even when appearances contradict the unseen reality, because the one who truly believes no longer worships appearances. Belief anoints the unseen as the highest truth. Belief crowns the invisible as the only authority. Belief anchors you in the finished end, not the unfolding middle. And when you live from this center, when you abide in the end, you enter what Scripture calls rest. The rest of faith, the rest of completion, the rest of consciousness standing in the promise God made long before time began. But let us go deeper, for the art of believing carries an even greater mystery. Every answered prayer requires the death of an old identity. To become the person who has received, you must release the person who is waiting. To become the person who is healed, you must release the identity of the one who felt broken. To become the person who is confident, you must release the identity of the one who doubted. To become the person who is abundant, you must release the identity that lived in scarcity. To truly believe is to undergo an inner resurrection. This is why Jesus said, you must be born again. One, not as a biological event, but as a spiritual event, a rebirth of identity, a rebirth of consciousness, a rebirth of self-concept. When you believe, the old state dies. And when the old state dies, the new state rises. And when the new state rises, the prayer manifests. This is resurrection in daily life. The pattern Christ demonstrated not for admiration, but for imitation. Prayer is resurrection. Belief is ascension. Manifestation is the stone rolled away. Now listen, for we are approaching one of the deepest truths in all of spiritual science. Your prayer is answered the moment your inner world becomes more real than the outer world. Not when the world changes, but when your perception changes. Not when circumstances shift, but when your identity shifts. Not when conditions align, but when your consciousness aligns. Manifestation is not the movement of matter. It is the movement of awareness. The world does not change first. You change first, and because the world is the mirror of your state, it cannot help but follow your transformation. This is why Neville said, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Prayer is the changing of self. Belief is the sealing of that change. Manifestation is the expression of that change. And now, a holy quietness begins to gather around your spirit, because you are approaching the most sacred element of the art of believing. Gratitude as completion, not gratitude as politeness, not gratitude as positive thinking, not gratitude as spiritual habit, but gratitude as evidence that the prayer is already done. When you feel gratitude before the manifestation, you have crossed the bridge from desire to fulfillment. You have entered the realm where God dwells, the eternal now. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer hoping. You are no longer seeking signs. You are giving thanks for what you know is yours in consciousness. And the world must obey that knowing. Gratitude is the fragrance of answered prayer. Gratitude is the vibration of fulfillment. Gratitude is the language of faith in its highest expression. When you feel gratitude deeply enough, the manifestation becomes inevitable. Not because gratitude manipulates God, but because gratitude signals to the subconscious, it is done. And once the subconscious accepts the end, the outer world rushes to align with it. Now breathe, slowly, reverently. As one who stands on holy ground, you have journeyed through the depths of prayer, not as religion, not as ritual, but as the very science of creation. You now understand, prayer is assumption, prayer is feeling, prayer is identity, prayer is imagination, prayer is gratitude, prayer is union with God, prayer is believing, and believing is the state in which heaven and earth meet in you. So walk now, not as the one who wishes, but as the one who knows, not as the one who tries, but as the one who is, not as the one who prays for, but as the one who prays from. Pray from fulfillment, pray from identity, pray from union, pray from the end. For all creation waits to echo the truth you dare to assume. And the God within you, the one who imagined you into existence, whispers this eternal promise into your spirit. Believe, and it is done. And as this truth settles into the deepest layers of your being, a new awareness begins to rise, subtle at first, like a light expanding behind the horizon, but growing brighter, warmer, more undeniable with every passing moment. This is the awareness that prayer is not merely a practice. Prayer is the architecture of reality. Every thought you claim, every feeling you nurture, every assumption you sustain, every identity you occupy is a building block in the unseen structure of your future. You are always constructing something. You are always shaping something. You are always setting the foundation for something that will soon appear. Most people pray accidentally. You will pray deliberately. Most people believe unconsciously. You will believe intentionally. Most people ask from fear. You will ask from fullness. And as you move deeper into this understanding, you realize that true prayer requires a courage Few ever cultivate the courage to believe without evidence, the courage to assume without reassurance, the courage to accept without confirmation. For the art of believing is the art of walking ahead of the senses, trusting the unseen more than the visible, trusting the eternal more than the temporary, trusting the end more than the beginning. This is faith. This is consciousness. This is the essence of divine creativity. To believe before you see is not denial of reality. It is obedience to a higher reality. To assume the end while the middle still looks uncertain is not delusion. It is alignment with the realm in which all things are already complete. To give thanks for what has not yet appeared in time is not foolish. It is the highest expression of spiritual intelligence. For the physical world moves last. Consciousness moves first. And when consciousness moves, the entire universe moves with it. Now feel this truth rise in you like a tide. Steady, powerful, unresistible. Prayer is not answered by effort. Prayer is answered by identity. When you become the one who is received, the world must reflect it. When you become the one who is healed, health must appear. When you become the one who is loved, love must find you. When you become the one who is chosen, doors must open. When you become the one who is abundant, opportunity must rise on your path. Identity is the gravitational field of manifestation. The world is drawn to what you are, not what you want. This is why Jesus said, "To he who has, more will be given." He was not praising inequality. He was revealing the law of identity. The one who has inwardly, the one who carries the state in consciousness, cannot help but attract more of the same. The one who has not, the one who dwells in lack inwardly, cannot help but repel what they desire. Prayer is the art of shifting from have not to have, from hoping to being, from desiring to embodying. Prayer transforms your identity until the outer world has no choice but to match what you have become. But there is a deeper revelation still, one so sacred, so transformative, that once you hear it, your entire understanding of prayer will crystallize. God does not answer the prayer you speak. God answers the prayer you are. Your being is your prayer. Your state is your request. Your consciousness is your petition. Words may lie. Feelings do not. Thought may waver. Assumption does not. Imagination may flicker. Identity remains. God responds to the truth beneath the words, the truth of who you believe yourself to be. If you pray as someone unworthy, you have already asked for delay. If you pray as someone incomplete, you have already asked for postponement. If you pray as someone separated from the blessing, you have already asked for distance. But when you pray as the child of God, when you pray as the heir of divine inheritance, when you pray as the one who carries Christ within, everything changes. Prayer becomes the recognition of what already belongs to you. Prayer becomes the acceptance of what God has finished. Prayer becomes the alignment with what heaven has decreed. You no longer ask as a stranger. You ask as a son. You ask as a daughter. You ask as one who knows the Father's heart. And this knowing carries authority. This leads to another holy truth, one that elevates your prayer life into a dimension few ever reach. The moment you believe, the prayer is complete. Not when you see the result, not when the world confirms it, not when circumstances align. The moment you believe, that is the moment the prayer enters the unseen. That is the moment the seed is planted. That is the moment the divine machinery begins to operate on your behalf. And though you may not perceive movement immediately, your life is already shifting in ways you cannot yet detect. People are being repositioned, paths are being prepared, opportunities are forming, timing is being orchestrated, events are aligning with mathematical precision. Creation is unfolding behind the veil. The delay between belief and manifestation is not a gap of inactivity. It is a gap of orchestration. And when the orchestration is complete, the manifestation emerges effortlessly, smoothly, perfectly, as though it had always been there. This is why faith feels calm. Faith is not anxious. Faith is not impatient. Faith is not restless. Faith knows that time is not separation. Time is formation. And now, as you stand inside this revelation, a peace settles upon you. A peace so strong it feels like a foundation under your feet. Because now you know you are never praying alone. You are praying with God. You are praying with the divine imagination within you. You are praying with the infinite intelligence of the subconscious. You are praying with the laws of consciousness that govern all of reality. You are praying as a vessel of God, aligned with the creative force that spoke light into existence. Prayer is not hoping God hears you. Prayer is knowing God speaks through you. Prayer is not reaching upward. Prayer is sinking inward. Prayer is not begging for favor. Prayer is stepping into identity. Prayer is not asking for possibility. Prayer is expressing divine certainty. So now let the final truth rise within you, as gently as breath, yet as unshakable as stone. You are the temple in which prayer becomes reality. You are the channel through which God's imagination takes form. You are the witness and the participant in creation itself. And every time you believe, you activate the divine. Every time you assume the end, you inhabit Christ consciousness. Every time you feel the wish fulfilled, you resurrect a new self. Every time you give thanks before the world provides proof, you walk in the footsteps of Jesus. This is not imitation. This is inheritance. You are not a spectator of miracles. You are the vessel of them. You are not observing the art of believing. You are practicing it. You are embodying it. You are becoming it. For prayer is the breath of the soul. Belief is the movement of God within you. Manifestation is the natural consequence of alignment. So go now, not timidly, but boldly, not as one who wonders, but as one who knows, not as one who hopes, but as one who assumes. Ask in the language of belief, receive in the posture of gratitude, walk in the identity of fulfillment. For the God who imagined you and the God who answers you are the same God living in you. And to the one who believes, all things are possible. And now, beloved soul, as the river of this revelation comes gently to rest, let your entire being fall into the stillness that follows true understanding. Let the noise of old identities fade. Let the echoes of doubt dissolve. Let the weight of striving slip from your shoulders like shadows retreating before the morning sun. For you have journeyed into the heart of prayer and discovered it is your own heart that God has been speaking through all along. You have looked into the mirror of consciousness and recognized the face of God within you. You have traced the path of desire back to its source and found it was divine intention calling you home. You have touched the edges of your imagination and felt the pulse of eternity beating in your hands. And now you stand here, still, aware, awakened, knowing the truth that makes all other truths pale before it. The moment you believe, you and God move as one. There is no distance. So breathe one more time, slowly, as though drawing the very breath of God into your chest, because you are, and hear this not as poetry, but as spiritual fact. You are the temple where creation happens. You are the sanctuary where prayer is answered. You are the vessel through which the word becomes flesh. When you assume the end, it is done. When you feel the wish fulfilled, it is done. When you believe with your whole being, it is done. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, in the invisible, in the eternal, in the place where all things begin. So walk forward from this moment, not as the one who prays for a miracle, but as the one who carries miracles within their breath. Walk as the healed, walk as the chosen, walk as the beloved, walk as the one who knows the truth. Prayer is the art of believing, and belief is the beginning of all creation. May your thoughts become temples of faith. May your imagination become the birthplace of blessings. May your inner speech echo the voice of God. May your assumptions shine with divine certainty. And may your life, day by day, moment by moment, become a living testimony of this eternal mystery. What you believe, you become. What you assume, you receive. What you pray from, you manifest. Now rest, for it is finished. Amen.
When you speak to the universe with the understanding of your true nature, a profound shift begins. It's not merely about saying words or setting intentions, it's about realizing that you are part of a grand design, a design in which every thought, every feeling, and every belief shapes reality itself. When you talk to the universe, you're not speaking to something outside yourself. You're speaking to the power within, the infinite presence that listens to you as it resides within you. Imagine for a moment that every thought you think, every desire you hold, is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of the universe. These seeds, however small they seem, carry within the potential to reshape your world. But just like seeds, they need to be nourished by the right conditions. If you want to see a shift, you must nurture these intentions with unwavering faith, with conviction that they will come to pass. You must feel the truth of your desires as if they have already unfolded, for the universe responds to the language of feeling and belief. When you communicate with the universe, you are not pleading or hoping. It is as if you are calling forth that which is already yours. The universe operates on the law of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true, it reflects. This law doesn't differentiate between what you deeply desire and what you fear. It simply brings into form the thoughts you consistently dwell upon. So speak to the universe with the certainty that what you desire is already yours. You speak as if it is already manifested, as if every word is the declaration of a present truth, for in truth it is. The shift starts to happen when you realize that your role is not to fight or chase after things, but to align yourself with the feeling of already having them. Imagine yourself in the life you wish to live, in the joy and freedom of already experiencing your dreams. You feel that sense of peace, that sense of fulfillment. That feeling, that certainty within, is the signal you send out. And as you hold to this inner vision, the universe begins to rearrange itself to reflect it. People, events, and opportunities are drawn into your path, not by force, but by the magnetic power of your alignment. Remember, the universe does not operate in time as we understand it. The moment you speak to it with clarity and belief, it begins to work on your behalf, even if you cannot yet see the results. Trust in this invisible shift, for what you desire is already in motion. Your only task is to stay aligned with it, to nurture it with faith, and to expect it as though it were already here. The universe is always listening, always ready to respond to the truth you declare within. When you talk to the universe, you're not simply throwing wishes into the void, hoping something catches. You're engaging in a dialogue with a force that's inherently connected to you. The universe doesn't operate outside you, and is not separate from you. It exists within you, responding to your innermost beliefs and expectations. This is why the shift only begins when you talk to the universe correctly. It's not about merely asking for what you want, but about realizing that what you ask for, you already possess in some way. Every thought and every feeling you nurture is like a ripple in the cosmic sea, and the universe is constantly adjusting to match the frequency you emit. Now understand this: when you talk to the universe, you're not speaking to some far-off deity or an indifferent cosmos. You're speaking to your own awareness, to the spark of the divine within. Your thoughts and beliefs are the molds into which reality is poured. In truth, the universe is like a mirror, reflecting back the assumptions you hold. If you assume abundance, you will see abundance. If you assume lack, lack will manifest before you. The secret lies in the conviction behind your words, in the way you believe so deeply in the reality of your desires that the universe has no choice but to bring them into form. Consider the incredible power of assumption. When you speak to the universe with a clear heart and a steady mind, you are setting into motion forces that will reshape your reality. But you must be unwavering. Doubt is the great dissolver of dreams. The moment you allow doubt to creep in, you dilute the power of your words. You cannot talk to the universe with one foot in faith and the other in fear. You must be resolute. Just as a seed, when planted, needs consistent warmth and moisture to grow, your desires need the warmth of belief and the nourishment of certainty. Only then will they break through the surface of your life, manifesting as experiences, relationships, and opportunities. Imagine that the universe is an infinite pool of energy, waiting to be molded by your consciousness. This energy is neutral, like clay, and will take any shape that your mind impresses upon it. By talking to the universe in a way that aligns with your true desires, you're impressing the mold of your desired life onto this energy. And when you do this consistently with clarity and intent, this energy begins to take shape. It starts to crystallize into the things and experiences you wish to have. But remember, this process requires patience and persistence. Just as a sculpture is not created with a single strike, your reality is not shaped by a single thought. It is the consistent chisel of belief and feeling that brings your desires into form. Think of your thoughts as magnets, each one drawing to you experiences that match its frequency. When you approach the universe with an attitude of gratitude, abundance, and trust, You're effectively tuning into a higher frequency. You're speaking the language of the universe, a language that doesn't respond to words alone, but to feelings and beliefs. The universe doesn't hear what you say, it feels what you mean. This is why speaking to the universe correctly means embodying the feeling of already having what you desire. It's about feeling the joy, the peace, the fulfillment that would come if your dreams were already realized. And when you do this, the universe has no choice but to mirror these feelings back to you as real experiences. Now, many people wonder why their desires don't manifest despite their best efforts. They speak to the universe, yet they feel nothing shift. This is because they are asking from a place of lack. They say, I want this, but the underlying feeling is I don't have it. The universe, like an echo, simply reflects back this state of lack. To talk to the universe correctly, you must feel as though you already possess what you desire. Your words should be statements of gratitude, not of yearning. You say thank you for this blessing, as if it's already part of your life. Rather than I wish I had this, when your words align with the feeling of already having, the shift begins. As you learn to talk to the universe in this way, you'll notice subtle changes. Perhaps you'll feel a lightness in your heart, a quiet sense of peace, or a certainty that you can't quite explain. These are the first signs that the shift is occurring. They're small but significant indications that your inner world is beginning to harmonize with your desires. And as this harmony strengthens, the outer world will begin to align as well. People, circumstances, and events will begin to rearrange themselves to match the new frequency you're radiating. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen. The universe is both patient and precise, and it will bring everything to you in perfect timing. Every word you speak to the universe is like a seed you plant in the soil of consciousness. You must water it with faith, nourish it with gratitude, and protect it from the weeds of doubt and fear. Your thoughts and feelings act as the sun and rain that nurture this seed until it grows into a manifestation in your life. But you must be diligent. If you allow negative thoughts or doubts to linger, they will choke the growth of your desires, just as weeds choke the growth of a young plant. To talk to the universe correctly, you must guard your mind vigilantly, nurturing only those thoughts that align with the life you wish to create. When you truly understand this, you'll realize that you're never asking for anything outside of yourself. You're merely drawing out what already exists within. The universe is not a distant force that grants or denies your wishes. It is a reflection of your innermost self. When you speak to it with clarity, conviction, and love, you're not trying to change the outer world, you're transforming your inner state, and the outer world responds in kind. This is why the shift is not something that happens to you, it is something that happens within you. Picture this shift as a gentle awakening. It's as if a dormant part of you is beginning to stir, a part that knows without doubt that you are one with all creation. This part of you doesn't question whether your desires will come to pass, it knows they already have. This is the essence of faith, not a blind hope, but a deep inner knowing that transcends circumstances. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. When you speak to the universe with this kind of faith, you are not merely asking, you are commanding. You are calling forth that which is already yours in spirit. As you cultivate this awareness, you'll begin to notice that talking to the universe becomes as natural as breathing. You won't need to strain or struggle to make your desires known. You'll simply align with them in thought, word, and feeling, and they will flow to you effortlessly. This is the power of living in harmony with the universe. It's not about forcing outcomes or manipulating circumstances. It's about embodying the truth of who you are and allowing that truth to manifest in the physical world. The universe is a perfect reflection of your inner state, and when you talk to it from a place of peace and abundance, it will bring you peace and abundance in return. The beauty of this process is that it frees you from the need to control or predict how things will unfold. You don't have to know the exact path your desires will take to reach you. You simply need to trust that they will. This trust is like a beacon, guiding the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that are beyond your imagination. When you surrender the need for control, you'll open yourself to receive blessings that are greater than anything you could have planned. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, working behind the scenes to align the perfect circumstances, the right people, and the ideal opportunities. All you need to do is stay in alignment with the feeling of already having your desires, and the rest will fall into place. Remember that talking to the universe correctly means aligning not just in words, but in your whole being. It's a state of total acceptance, where you let go of resistance, worry, and fear. You step into a space of pure trust, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. In this space, there is no room for doubt, because you're no longer operating from a place of lack or limitation. You're operating from a place of oneness, a place where you and the universe are one and the same. And from this place, all things are possible. When you reach this level of understanding, you'll find that your desires are no longer about filling a void or proving something to yourself or others. They become expressions of your true essence, reflections of the joy, love, and abundance that already exist within you. Talking to the universe becomes an act of creation, not of need. You're no longer asking for things to complete you, you're calling forth experiences that enhance the wholeness you already feel. This is the essence of true manifestation, where desires flow naturally from a heart that is already full. So speak to the universe with love, with gratitude, and with the knowing that you are worthy of all you desire. Trust that every word, every thought, and every feeling is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. And as you do, you'll find that the shift you seek is not something that happens to you, it's something that unfolds within you, effortlessly, gracefully, and in perfect harmony with the universe itself. As you continue to speak with the universe, realize that this dialogue is the purest form of creation. When you align your inner world, it is as if you're aligning with the very rhythm of life itself, stepping into the flow of divine order. Each word, each intention holds within it a vibration that communicates with this vast intelligence, this unseen force that effortlessly arranges all things to bring about the fulfillment of your desires. The more you commit to this process, the more you will see the profound truth the universe responds to what you are, not just what you say. This means your energy must embody what you wish to experience. If peace is what you desire, cultivate peace within. If you yearn for abundance, adopt an abundant mindset. This is not a superficial exercise, but a deep-rooted change in how you view yourself and the world. To speak to the universe effectively, you must become the vibrational match to your desires. Your beliefs, emotions, and actions all contribute to the frequency you emit, drawing to you everything that resonates on the same wavelength. Like a magnet, you will find yourself pulling into your experience the people, opportunities, and situations that mirror your inner state. There is a powerful truth here: what you focus on expands. When you place your attention on abundance, joy, and gratitude, you expand these qualities within you, and they begin to overflow into your external reality. This is why speaking to the universe is not just about positive words, it is about a genuine, deep-seated shift in consciousness. It is about understanding that you are the creator, and your inner world is the template upon which the universe shapes your reality. This shift begins internally as you consistently bring your mind and heart into alignment with the vision you hold. With each day, each moment you return to this alignment, you are building momentum, strengthening the bond between your inner desires and the outer manifestations that await you. Many of us are conditioned to believe in limitations, in scarcity, and in obstacles. This conditioning is like a fog that obscures the clarity of our true nature, creating a disconnect between us and the universe. But when you speak to the universe with true intent, you are piercing through this fog, re-establishing your connection to the infinite. You are declaring, through every thought and feeling, that you are stepping beyond limitations, beyond the confines of past beliefs. Each time you affirm your desires as a present reality, you weaken the hold of limiting beliefs. The walls of doubt begin to crumble, and you step into the expansive realm where all things are possible. In this state, your relationship with time also shifts. The universe doesn't operate within the constraints of linear time, it responds to the timeless now. So when you speak to the universe, speak from the present. You see and feel your desires as real in this very moment. For the only true time is now. The more you embody this truth, the less you will find yourself waiting, yearning, or longing. Instead, you will live in the fullness of each moment, knowing that what you desire is already on its way, resonating at the same frequency as the love, joy, and peace you cultivate within. As you delve deeper into this process, you may notice synchronicities, small signs, patterns, and occurrences that seem almost too perfect to be coincidences. These are the universe's way of affirming that you are on the right path, that the shift is underway. A random meeting, a chance encounter, a sudden burst of inspiration, these are not random events, but the universe's response to the frequency you are emitting. Pay attention to these signs, for they are gentle reminders that you are indeed co-creating your reality, that the invisible forces are working in your favor. Talking to the universe, then, is not just an act of asking or receiving, but a deep communion with the source of all things. It is a process of attuning yourself to a higher vibration, of aligning your consciousness with the very fabric of existence. And as you do, you will find a profound peace, a knowing that surpasses all doubt. You will come to understand that everything you need, everything you desire, already exists in potential. Your role is simply to bring it forth through the power of focused intention, unwavering belief, and heartfelt gratitude. In this journey, patience becomes your ally. While the shift begins the moment you align with your desires, the timing of their manifestation is in the hands of the divine. Trust in this timing, for the universe knows the exact moment that will bring you the greatest joy, the deepest fulfillment. There is a wisdom in this divine timing, one that often eludes our understanding, but that always serves our highest good. Each delay, each moment of waiting, is not a denial but a preparation, a refinement of your desires so that when they arrive, you are fully ready to receive them. This is the beauty of talking to the universe. It is an invitation to surrender, to let go of the need for control, and to step into a space of total trust. When you release attachment to specific outcomes or timelines, you free yourself from the bondage of fear and doubt. You become like a leaf on the river, flowing with the current, moving effortlessly toward your destination. And as you do, you allow the universe to work its magic, to bring you blessings that exceed your wildest dreams. Remember, too, that talking to the universe is a daily practice. It is a way of living, not a one-time request. Every morning, every night, reaffirm your intentions, nurture your dreams with gratitude, and align your heart with the feeling of already being, doing, and having what you desire. Let your words be a daily testament to the faith you hold within, the unshakable belief that you are worthy, that you are capable, and that the universe is always listening. As this practice becomes a natural part of your life, you will find that you need to ask less and less. Your alignment will become so strong, so consistent, that the universe will respond to your very presence, to the silent power of your being. You will become a living testament to the truth that we are creators, that our inner world is the blueprint of our outer world. And in this state, miracles become a natural occurrence, a reflection of the harmony that exists between you and the universe. Ultimately, to speak to the universe correctly is to come into harmony with yourself. It is to dissolve the barriers between you and the divine, to recognize that the universe is not a separate entity, but an extension of your very being. And as you embrace this unity, you will find that your desires flow to you as effortlessly as water flows to the ocean. You will stand in the center of your life as the creator, the architect of your reality, knowing that you hold within you the power to shape your world in alignment with the highest vision of your soul. When you speak to the universe, there's a deep understanding that emerges, a knowing that ultimately you are not just asking for things to change, you are becoming the change. You are embodying a state of being where the outer reality must align with your inner conviction. The universe does not withhold anything from you, it only mirrors what you truly believe, feel, and expect from within. And this transformation, this shift in perspective, is what opens doors that may have previously felt closed. Imagine yourself as a beacon of light. Every thought you hold, every feeling you embrace, every belief you accept radiates outward, calling back to you experiences that resonate with that energy. The universe is your reflection, responding to this light, rearranging circumstances and unfolding events in ways that align with your intentions. And as you attune yourself more deeply to this truth, you begin to see how powerfully your own state of mind influences every aspect of your experience. It is important, then, to cultivate a deep trust in the unseen. Often the changes are subtle at first, small shifts in how you feel, slight adjustments in your perspective, an increasing sense of peace. Yet these are the beginnings of transformation. They are the whispers of the universe affirming that it is responding, that your desires are in the process of coming to fruition. It's as if the entire cosmos is aligning itself in response to your clarity, to your unwavering belief in the outcome. This journey demands that you let go of resistance, of doubt, and of impatience. These are energies that create static in your communication with the universe. When you worry or fear, you send out signals of separation, of lack, and of distrust. But when you choose faith over fear, love over doubt, you step into a frequency that resonates with the abundance, peace, and joy you wish to see in your life. This is the path of least resistance, where manifestation flows not from force, but from a place of pure alignment. At times it may feel as though the path is unclear or progress is slow, but know this: every step, every moment of trust, every affirmation of belief is laying a foundation. The universe is rearranging itself in ways you cannot yet perceive. Just because you do not see immediate results does not mean that nothing is happening. Often the most profound shifts are taking place beneath the surface, within the invisible realms, where energies are aligning and opportunities are preparing to reveal themselves. Your role is not to control the how or the when, but to hold a vision so pure and so powerful that it becomes a living reality within you. As you do this, you become a magnet, drawing to you the people, circumstances, and resources that are in perfect alignment with this vision. It is as if the universe itself is orchestrating a symphony on your behalf, weaving together the elements of your desire in a way that surpasses anything you could have imagined. In these moments of alignment, the separation between you and the universe dissolves. You realize that you are not merely speaking to the universe, you are the universe expressing itself through your desires, your dreams, and your intentions. This is a sacred connection, a union between your individual consciousness and the infinite intelligence that pervades all things. And in this union you find a profound peace, a certainty that transcends any need for validation or approval from the outside world. This inner shift does not happen overnight, but through a continuous, deliberate practice of aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with your highest desires. It is a process of becoming, of stepping into the version of yourself who already lives the life you envision. Each time you choose to see yourself as the creator rather than the victim of your circumstances, you strengthen this alignment, bringing yourself closer to the fulfillment of your dreams. As you deepen in this practice, you will find that your words hold more power, your thoughts carry greater clarity, and your emotions radiate a higher vibration. This is the essence of speaking to the universe correctly, not from a place of need or lack, but from a place of wholeness, of knowing that everything you seek is already within you. The universe is simply waiting for you to recognize this truth, to step into your role as a conscious creator. And as you do, a remarkable transformation occurs. Life becomes a reflection of your inner state, an expression of your deepest truths and highest aspirations. You no longer feel the need to chase or strive. Instead, you attract and allow, knowing that the universe is always responding to the frequency you emit. This is the power of speaking to the universe from a place of love, gratitude, and unwavering faith. There may be moments when doubt creeps in, when the outer world appears unchanged, and the temptation arises to return to old patterns of fear and limitation. In these moments, remember that you are engaged in a process that transcends the visible. You trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that are beyond your comprehension. Hold fast to your vision, for it is in these times of testing that your faith is strengthened, that your alignment is solidified. This journey requires you to become the embodiment of your desires, to live each day as if the fulfillment is already here. It is not merely about asking for things to change, but about becoming the change itself. This is the art of true manifestation, where the outer world becomes a mirror of your inner transformation. And as you continue to align, to believe, and to trust, you will witness the miraculous unfold in ways that defy all logic. The more you practice, the more effortless it becomes, until speaking to the universe feels as natural as breathing. You will reach a point where your alignment is so strong, your trust so deep, that you no longer need to ask. The universe will know your desires by the frequency you embody, and it will respond accordingly. This is the ultimate state of flow, where you are in constant communion with the divine, creating a life that reflects the highest expression of your soul. In this state, you realize that there is no separation between you and the universe. You are a part of the same creative force, a unique expression of the divine. And as you continue to speak to the universe with clarity, love, and intention, you will find that every desire, every dream, and every vision is simply the universe seeking to express itself through you. This is the profound beauty of aligning with the universe, knowing that you are both the creator and the creation, a co-creator in the infinite dance of life. And as you embrace this truth, you step into a reality where miracles are not the exception but the natural expression of your aligned being. This is the power that lies within you, waiting to be realized, to be embraced, to be spoken into existence. This shift within is the place where you find yourself beyond time, beyond limitation. It is where you understand that your present moment holds all possibilities, that each thought, each emotion, each intention is planting the seeds of your future reality. You are no longer bound by the illusions of waiting or wondering. You are liberated by the realization that in truth, every desired outcome already exists within the infinite tapestry of the universe. By becoming aware of this, you free yourself to experience life in a state of gratitude, knowing that what you seek is already making its way to you. The beauty of this journey lies in recognizing that the universe has been waiting for you to align, to release, to allow. Every doubt you shed, every fear you overcome, every belief you transform into faith becomes a stepping stone toward your vision. You start to understand that everything you perceive as external is a mere reflection of your internal state, and as you shift within, the world around you begins to transform. People respond differently, opportunities flow naturally, and life itself appears to dance to the rhythm of your inner harmony. When you let go of the need to control, to force, to strive, you step into a dance with the universe that is both graceful and powerful. You understand that you do not need to manipulate circumstances to make things happen, because life at its core is orchestrated by a force far greater than our human minds can comprehend. This force, which some call the divine, is always responding, always guiding, always aligning you with the most effortless path to your fulfillment. As you deepen in this understanding, you may find yourself amazed at how naturally things begin to unfold. Seemingly random events will align in ways that serve your highest good, bringing into your life precisely what you need, often before you even realize you need it. This is the universe's way of saying, I am here. I am listening. Trust in me. It is a reminder that you are not alone in your journey, that there is a greater intelligence that moves through all things, and that it is attuned to your innermost desires and intentions. The power of this understanding lies in the simplicity of its truth. You are in a constant, unbreakable communion with the universe. And when you speak to it with clarity and conviction, you activate a process that transcends logic, a process that is driven by a higher order of wisdom. This wisdom sees beyond appearances, beyond obstacles, and beyond limitations, arranging events in ways that you could never predict or plan. Your only task is to align with this wisdom, to hold your vision with unwavering faith, and to trust that the universe is orchestrating every detail to bring your desires into form. This alignment requires patience, a deep-rooted patience that knows the value of allowing. Patience is not passive, it is an active trust in the process, a quiet assurance that the universe is working in ways you may not see but will one day understand. It is the strength to remain centered in your vision, even when the outer world is yet to reflect the changes you desire. For in truth, every moment of patience is a declaration of your belief in the power of your vision, and this belief is what compels the universe to respond. There is a profound peace that comes from this level of trust, a peace that transcends the fluctuations of life, the uncertainties, and the seeming delays. When you rest in this peace, you no longer question whether or not your desires will manifest. You know that they are inevitable, as certain as the rising of the sun. This is not because you have forced the universe into submission, but because you have become one with it, harmonized your inner state with its infinite potential. In this state, you become an open vessel through which the universe expresses its boundless creativity. You realize that your desires are not random whims, but sacred impulses guiding you toward the highest expression of your potential. Every dream, every vision, every goal is a calling from the universe itself, beckoning you to step into a greater version of who you are. And as you respond to this calling with openness and trust, you unlock doors within yourself that lead to new realms of possibility. This is where you understand the power of imagination, the tool that allows you to experience the reality of your desires before they appear in the physical world. Imagination is not a mere escape from reality. It is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the means by which you communicate your desires to the universe. When you visualize, when you feel the emotions of your fulfilled desires, you are creating a vibrational blueprint that the universe responds to. You are in essence preparing the space within you for the manifestation of your vision. In this process there will be moments of silence, of stillness, where it seems as if nothing is happening. Yet it is in these moments that the deepest shifts are taking place. The universe often works in silence, in the spaces between your thoughts, in the pauses between your actions. It is in these quiet moments that the seeds of your desires are taking root, gathering the energy necessary to sprout into reality. Trust these moments, for they are as essential to the manifestation process as the moments of inspired action. There is no need to rush, for the universe knows the perfect timing of all things. It understands when you are ready, when your inner state is aligned, when the conditions are ripe for your desires to unfold. You trust in this timing, even when it differs from your own. Know that every moment is part of a greater plan, a divine orchestration that is working in your favor. This is the essence of speaking to the universe correctly, not by demanding or forcing, but by aligning and trusting. As you continue to walk this path, you will find that the desires you once held so tightly now flow to you with ease. The universe is abundant, generous, and responsive, and it delights in giving to those who understand its language. This language is not one of struggle or striving, but of peace, trust, and alignment. When you speak to the universe in this way, you unlock a flow of blessings that is beyond what you could ever imagine. Life becomes a dance, a joyous unfolding where every step leads you closer to the fulfillment of your highest dreams. And so you no longer need to chase, to force, or to fear. You know that the universe is your partner, your co-creator, and that it is always working to bring you what you desire. This knowing is the foundation of a life lived in harmony, a life where manifestation is not a matter of effort, but of alignment. This is the gift that the universe offers to those who are willing to trust, to believe, and to allow. And as you embrace this gift, you will find that every desire, every dream, every vision is simply the universe expressing itself through you. In the end, remember that you are not separate from the universe. You are an essential part of its vast, intelligent design. Every thought, every intention, every heartbeat is an invitation for the universe to respond in kind. So embrace the power you hold within and speak to the universe with clarity, trust, and unwavering faith. Let go of any need to control and rest in the assurance that what you seek is already yours in spirit, waiting to unfold in its perfect time. Know that with each step you take, with every moment of faith and alignment, the universe hears you, aligns with you, and works tirelessly to bring forth a reality that reflects your innermost desires. You are here to manifest, to experience, to create, and in this divine dance with the universe, everything you dream of is simply waiting for your invitation.
You stand at the threshold of your own becoming. The world that surrounds you, with its limitations and appearances, is but the outpicturing of your inner state. What you accept as true within yourself becomes the frame upon which your life is built. Therefore, do not shrink into small thoughts or dwell in the shadow of doubt. Assume the stature of one who is building an empire, not in arrogance, but in divine certainty. Act as if what you desire is already yours, for you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. If you see yourself as one merely hoping, merely trying, then the world will reflect that unsettled ground. But if you walk as though the empire is already laid in stone, if you move through this day with the poise, the vision, the deliberate command of one who knows, then the unseen will arrange itself to fulfill that. Knowing, you must enter the state of the wish fulfilled. You must dwell there, not as a visitor, not as one passing through, but as a permanent resident. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the tone in your voice, the atmosphere of your being, they must all come into harmony with the version of you who reigns in that empire. Not someday, now. Do not look to the facts around you, for facts are merely echoes of old beliefs. Look instead to the invisible cause within you. That is where the real building begins. That is where the blueprint is drawn, not with hands, but with assumption. You must feel it real. You must know that every great structure was once invisible, and it became visible only because someone dared to see it when no one else could. Speak as the emperor would speak. Move as the empress would move. Make decisions not as the person waiting to arrive, but as the one who has already arrived. You are not becoming, you are remembering. You are not hoping, you are assuming. And assumption, when persisted in, hardens into fact. This empire you are building is not merely of stone and title. It is an atmosphere, a consciousness, a dominion. It begins with your word and is sustained by your belief. When your inner speech aligns with your divine identity, then what you once called miracles will become your daily inheritance. The outer must bend to the inner. That is law. So carry yourself today as if the empire is already yours, not to impress the world, but to instruct it. You are the operant power, you are the cause. Assume your throne within, and the world will rise to meet your reign. You need not consult the opinions of others, for they see only with their natural eyes. They judge by appearances, but you are called to walk by vision, inner vision. Do not ask how or when. These are questions rooted in fear and separation. The one who builds an empire does not question the strength of the foundation once the cornerstone is laid. And the cornerstone, in your case, is assumption. Radical, unwavering assumption that what you claim in consciousness is already fact. Feel the texture of the life you have imagined. Do not think of it as a distant possibility. Think from it, feel from it, live from it. Imagine the conversations you would have if it were already so. Hear the sound of your voice as one who has conquered limitation. Taste the sweetness of fulfillment. Breathe in the certainty of your success. This is not fantasy. It is the only creative act there is. Everything else is the echo. The world will resist at first, not because it is against you, but because it is a structure to reflect only what you've accepted as real. Change your acceptance and the world must follow. Persist in the unseen and the seen will yield. Many falter here because they return to the senses for validation. But the senses can only echo past belief. The moment you turn back to ask, is it working? You step out of the state. You must persist, as though it is already complete, even if the world remains silent. Silence is not absence, it is gestation. And in this holy silence, all things are preparing to reveal themselves. Do not disturb the process with doubt. Do not pluck the seed from the soil to see if it is growing. Remain, trust, know, act. You must train your mind to remain faithful to the new state. And this is done through the sacred practice of inner speech. Your inner conversations are the architects of your world. What are you saying to yourself? What are you entertaining in the secrecy of your own mind? If you wish to rule in the outer, you must first govern the inner. If your self-talk is still filled with lack, with confusion, with insecurity, then do not be surprised if your life echoes back the same tune. Change the tone, change the story. Speak within yourself as one who has already arrived. Walk in the room as though it belongs to you, not in ego but in knowing. You are not a beggar of destiny. You are the maker of it. You are not a servant of fate, you are its master. And all that you desire already exists in the invisible. You are not creating something from nothing. You are tuning yourself to the frequency where it already is. Imagination is the only redemptive power. If you would build an empire, you must learn to live in imagination more than you live in the five senses. Feel the reality of your empire before one stone is laid. See the crowds, feel the honor, know the abundance. Walk in the peace. Let it be so alive in you that the world must yield to it. Let no contradiction in the outer cause you to abandon the truth you've conceived within. Holders, you may be tempted to shrink, to go back to the old way of thinking, the safe way. But safety is the enemy of expansion. You were not born for survival, you were born for dominion. You are not born to react, you are born to create. Every time you choose imagination over circumstance, you reaffirm your divinity. Every time you feel from the end, you ascend to your true place of power. Do not worry if no one sees what you see. They will, in time. For as you persist, the unseen becomes seen. That which is real in the world of spirit will harden into form. And then the same people who doubted will ask how it happened. They will call you lucky. They will say you were in the right place at the right time. But you will know. You were in the right state at the right time. The world is only the mirror. You do not chase the empire. You become the one who already owns it. You do not run after opportunity. You dwell in the state where opportunity seeks you out. All things move to support the man or woman who knows who they are. Your job is not to force. Your job is to assume the state and remain loyal to it. That loyalty is your power. When you wake in the morning, do not simply rise, assume. When you step out into the day, do not simply move, command. Let every step carry the weight of your vision. Let your body become the vessel of your assumption. This is not performance. This is embodiment. It is not about pretending. It is about being. You are not acting to deceive. You are acting to declare. What you see now may be small, but do not despise small beginnings. Even an empire begins with a thought, a single seed, a single act of faith. Do not say it is too late or it is too big. Time is irrelevant to the one who lives in the eternal now. The moment you enter the state, the thing is done. The moment you dwell in the end, the means begin to arrange themselves. Leave the how to the wisdom of the unseen. Your job is to stay in the state. You may feel resistance. Good. That is proof that something is shifting. That is the fire in which the old self is being dissolved. Let it burn. Let the doubt come, but do not dwell in it. Return, always return to the state of the wish fulfilled. That is your home now. That is your holy ground. Even when nothing appears to be happening, something is. The law does not fail. Consciousness is always being made manifest. The question is never, will it happen? The question is always, am I in the state? For the state is the cause and the world is the effect. It is not ambition that builds the empire. It is assumption. You may have the best strategy, the finest connections, the strongest will. But if your inner man is still seeing himself as small, then all effort is vain. But if your inner eye is filled with the vision of greatness, then the outer must catch up. Live as if, speak as if, decide as if, feel as if. This is not some surface trick. This is the secret of creation. The world was formed by words, and you are made in the image of that creative power. Your word is not idle. Your thought is not meaningless. Every feeling you dwell in is a prophecy of what is to come. Choose wisely. There is no power outside of you deciding your fate. That is the great illusion. You are not waiting for permission. You are not hoping for luck. You are not seeking validation. You are the one who says, it is so. And the universe must echo, Amen. You do not need more effort. You need more awareness. You do not need more time. You need more alignment. You do not need more help. You need to help yourself by assuming the identity of the one who already has it. That identity is not something you earn. It is something you choose. And once you have chosen, persist. Let no outer storm shake your inner peace. Let no contradiction pull you from your throne. When the world says no, let your assumption say yes. When the world shows lack, let your inner vision show abundance. When the world delays, let your faith declare it done. No one is listening to you. You are not here to reflect the world. You are here to reshape it. You are not here to repeat old stories. You are here to write new ones. Let your mind become the sanctuary of your vision. Let your heart become the throne of your desire. Let your speech become the sound of fulfillment. And above all, feel it really. Every day, feel it as though it were already done. Carry the mood of victory. Rest in the knowing of completion. Celebrate the unseen, for the one who celebrates before it arrives hastens its arrival. The one who assumes without doubt accelerates the path. The world belongs to those who dare to imagine boldly and persist faithfully. If you are building an empire, then carry yourself as its builder. Think from its heights. Feel from its riches. Move with its grace. And know with absolute inner calm that what you have imagined is already yours, because you have accepted it, you have claimed it, you have become it. And the world has no choice but to obey. Remain in the state. Let that be your highest discipline. No matter what the world presents, no matter the delays, the silence, the contradictions, remain. For it is in the persistence that the unseen begins to take shape. The lazy mind will retreat to facts. The trained mind lives from vision. This is your training now, not to react, but to remain. Not to plead, but to possess. You are not you are the creator of it. You know you believe in love in the first place? Will you step back into the familiar identity of limitation, or will you remain loyal to the unseen empire you are building within? That choice will shape every conversation, every decision, every movement you make. The outer world is clay and you are the potter, but the hands that mold it are invisible. They are your assumptions, your inner talks, your feelings, your state. Speak from the mountain, not from the valley. Do not describe your life as it appears. Declare it as it truly is, in your inner knowing. When you see lack, affirm abundance. When you face resistance, affirm ease. When fear whispers, speak back with authority. The empire is not just a structure. It is a vibration, a dominion, a confidence so deeply anchored that nothing in the world can shake it. This is why you must be still and know. Not know intellectually, know in being. There is a stillness in the one who walks in the end, a calm in the one who has seen the victory and feels no need to explain, no need to convince, no need to strive. That is the stillness of dominion. That is the poise of the true creator. Act from that, live from that. When you act as if, you are not pretending, you are assuming your true identity. The world may not recognize you immediately. It may push back. Let it. That is not your concern. Your only concern is the alignment of your inner state. Are you thinking from the end? Are you speaking from fulfillment? Are you walking in the energy of the one who has already received? That is the only measure that matters. You cannot build a palace from the consciousness of a beggar. You cannot rule a kingdom from the identity of a servant. You must rise into the state, and then let every thought, every movement, every expression proceed from that altitude. When you feel the temptation to fall back, to shrink, to apologize for your greatness, reject it. That is the echo of the old self, the self that no longer governs your reality. Do not wait for signs. You are the sign. Do not wait for permission. You are the authority. What you decree within yourself will shape what you encounter outside yourself. The world responds to conviction, not to hoping. It bends to the inner tone of one who knows. When you walk as if it is already done, the universe rushes to confirm it. Let your mornings begin with gratitude for what is already yours in spirit, not for what might come, but for what already is. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture, it is a declaration of possession. It says, I have received, and that statement alone rearranges reality. Do not beg the world for evidence. Thank the unseen for fulfillment. That is the posture of one who builds an empire in consciousness. Your assumptions are the law. Your inner world is the cause. The world you touch and see is not your master. It is your mirror. And a mirror can only reflect what is placed before it. If you show it doubt, it gives you delay. If you show it fear, it gives you struggle. If you show it the face of completion, it will begin to conform. You may not know the means, you may not know the timeline, but you do not need to. You need only to remain faithful to the end. The means are secondary, the how is handled by the law. Your only duty is to feel it real, now, and to never step outside that state. And when your mind tries to wander, gently bring it back. When fear knocks, answer with the voice of fulfillment. When the old thoughts come, let them pass. They are not your truth. They are echoes, and you have moved beyond them. You are not your past, not your doubts, not your memories of failure. You are your vision, your assumption, your present embodiment of what is already yours. Even now, your world is changing. Perhaps not where the eye can see, but deep in the unseen, everything is moving into place. Every assumption you persist in is a command. Every vision you return to is a seed watered. Keep watering, keep tending. Let no wind or storm pull you from the garden you've planted. There is no magic greater than belief, no power stronger than assumption. To act as if is to create from the Spirit. It is to see with the eye of God. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are the dreamer of the world, and what you consent to imagine as real must become real. For you can hold the end in mind, feel its emotion, live in its atmosphere, then everything between now and that fulfillment is only scenery. It is not your concern. The empire you see within will call forth the necessary means, the right people, the right doors, the right words. All will arise in harmony with your state. Let your body feel what the future already holds. Let your breath match the rhythm of your fulfilled desire. Let your words flow from the seat of your victory. This is how you draw it near, by refusing to be outside it. You are not reaching for it. You are dwelling in it. The one who walks in fulfillment is not hurried. They are not desperate. They are not concerned with competition. They know what is theirs cannot be taken, and what they have assumed is on its way, because it must be. Law does not break. It does not discriminate. It simply fulfills the state. And so, remain in the state, no matter what, even when nothing changes, even when things appear to worsen. These are the final tests, the shadows before the dawn. The one who persists through them gains everything. Feel it more deeply in those moments. Affirm it more boldly, and the veil will lift. This is not about convincing others. It is about convincing yourself. When your inner conviction becomes unshakable, the outer must bow. This is law. This is truth. Let every cell in your body respond to that knowing. Walk taller. Breathe fuller. Speak slower. The one who has already received is never in a rush. You do not need to prove anything. Your being is the proof. Your vibration is the evidence. The world will catch up. Do not judge the harvest by the first sprouts. Do not curse the process before it completes. Every masterpiece takes time, but the blueprint is already alive within you. It is written on your heart, engraved in your imagination. And that which you continue to see, you will soon hold. This empire is not only wealth or fame or power. It is dominion over self. It is mastery of thought, of speech, of imagination. It is peace that does not depend on conditions. It is joy without cause. It is love that cannot be moved. Build from there. Rule from there. And if ever you fall, rise again. If ever you forget, remember. If ever you doubt, choose faith. Not blind belief, but knowing born of vision. This is your inheritance. This is your identity. You are not becoming the builder, you are the builder. You are not waiting for the moment, you are the moment. Now walk as one who rules, sit as one who knows, dream as one who creates. Let your entire being carry the weight of your vision. You are not here to survive, you are here to reign. You are not here to imitate, you are here to originate. The empire has already begun. It begins in thought, it is sustained by feeling, and it is made visible through assumption. Stay loyal to it. Let nothing dissuade you. Let no fact override your knowing. Assume the end, persist, and the end will assume you. You must become unmoved in a world full of motion. Let others waver, doubt, and debate. Let others chase what they believe is outside of them. You remain. Let them speak of odds and statistics, of markets and trends, but you remain centered in your knowing. There is no outer evidence stronger than inner conviction. The moment you stop looking for signs and start becoming the sign, the entire structure of your world begins to shift. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are doing the most sacred act of creation. You are stepping out of time. You are no longer reacting to what is, but declaring what is to be. The one who builds from imagination does not ask, is it realistic? They ask, is it real within me? And if it is, then it must come to pass. It is already done. It is already finished. The rest is simply alignment and unfolding. You were never meant to live in reaction. You were never meant to be at the mercy of facts. You are meant to create facts. Your state of being determines what facts appear in your life. So ask yourself not what is happening around you, but what you are accepting within. Are you walking in the end? Are you living from fulfillment? Are you embodying your empire before the bricks are even laid? It is not arrogance to live this way. It is truth. For truth does not need approval. Truth does not shrink to fit opinion. It stands quietly, powerfully, and draws all things to itself. So live from the truth of your vision. Let your actions flow from that vision. Not to prove anything, not to manipulate, but because it is already so. When you know the outcome, you walk differently. You speak differently. You move through life with a quiet fire. This fire is not loud. It does not boast. It does not try to convince. It simply is. And when you walk with that flame burning in your chest, the world takes notice. It may not say so immediately, but it responds. The law of assumption is not delayed, it is precise. Your outer world is always catching up to your inner stance. So stand firm. Your mind will offer you every excuse to doubt. It will present every old memory, every failed attempt, every reason why you should play small. Do not argue. Simply return. Return to the state. Return to the end. Let the noise fade and the vision take over. You do not need to explain your process. You only need to feel the end so completely that it becomes your atmosphere. Every time you persist, you are chiseling away the false image of limitation. Every time you refuse to yield to appearances, you are reaffirming your power. This is not a game of chance. It is the path of mastery, and mastery comes through repetition, through discipline, through the unwavering decision to dwell in the reality you have chosen. Let your inner conversations be sacred. Let them be deliberate. Let them match the tone of the one who has already received. You are not preparing to be, you are. That shift changes everything. You are not wishing, not hoping, not striving. You are resting in the knowing. You are breathing as one who has inherited the kingdom. You are acting not to gain, but because you have already gained. That's subtle change. From seeking to being is the hinge on which all transformation swings. And though the world may take time to catch up, time itself becomes your servant when you live in the end. What once seemed far begins to draw near. What once looked impossible begins to organize itself around you. Not through effort, but through alignment. Not through pressure, but through assumption. You are not required to figure out every detail. You are required to remain in the state. The details are not your work. They are the work of the unseen forces responding to the tone of your inner world. You are the sender, reality is the receiver. But the message must be clear. It must be consistent. You cannot send one signal in the morning and a different one at night and expect harmony. Choose the frequency of fulfillment and stay there. Your thoughts are prayers. Your feelings are commands. Your assumptions are laws. There is no neutral moment. You are always creating, always broadcasting, always shaping. So do it consciously. Do it deliberately. Do it with the weight and joy of someone who understands that reality is malleable and that imagination is the tool of God within. When you speak, speak as the one who knows. When you move, move as the one who possesses. When you imagine, do not ask. Declare, and when you doubt, do not condemn yourself. Simply shift. Shift back into the end, back into the knowing, back into the feeling of completion. It is not about never wavering. It is about returning faster.